let me do one thing. If you want, you can execute this line in the Workbench. You can use the particular database, and you can execute the line directly if you want, or else you can execute the same script. Okay, it's up to you how you want to proceed. Workbench from work. Well, seems to be simple, yeah? So what wins means you have to find. You should know from where you can capture the data. Then if we know the database, then from that database we can run this query exactly. But if you are not sure in that scenario, if you are new to this, okay. So in that scenario, what we will do. So if you know well and good so you can capture, you can copy-paste this line, and you can execute. So at our batch we have some new guys or so as well. So for them I'm telling. So if you're not aware, then you can execute this file directly. Okay. So to do that, just log into MySQL. So to log into MySQL, you have to change the path to database. So okay. So now you have to log into MySQL. It's already have told can you? Denotes username root. Python P. So log in with your credential. Okay, now you have to execute the same script. So this script you are going to execute, this add underscore identity underscore extension dot MySQL. This file you are going to execute, so copy paste the file. Use the command called source. So you can execute something like this. So it will create. If you have duplicate values, it will say duplicate, or else it will create something like this query. Okay, so we had to extend the attribute, that is the reason it's been created 2 lines. Okay, or else, if you know, then open that file. So directly you can execute something like this. Go to Workbench, copy paste. Before that, use the database, particular database. Use identity IQ. So let me execute the first line. We are going to use this database. After that, I'm going to execute the script, this one. So duplicate column name, because already we have executed here, it's been created already. That is the reason it's saying duplicate, or else it will create so any doubts from this. If you have any doubts, you could raise your hand. Is it clear, guys? How we can execute that script? Usually we'll call them as DDL script. You can execute. So now go to Workbench and you can check. It's not completed yet, the process. But it's been created, so I think we are good to check. Let's go to a speedy underscore identity table. And you can refresh, and you can check as of now after contact number. Nothing is there. Let me refresh. After contact number, we have two column has been created. One is employee type, another one is nickname. So these 2 column has been created, which means now I am good to store these values. So those attribute value I can store in the database. It will be reflect in the application. Is it clear? Now the question comes. in real-time project. Are you supposed to do these things? Are you allowed to do these things? You are going to meet the table indexes. No, so then what will you do? Quite simple. Because, as a Sailpoint administrator, developer, you are allowed to work inside your Sailpoint only. Okay, you are not allowed to access any other application, but sorry to interrupt like we have. We do have. We did it right. You can use. Can you come again, British? Squirrel. Really, I didn't get that. Okay, I think. What I'm doing is also an application. Okay. Okay, I didn't hear that. What I'm saying is so you are not allowed. You will be having access to database, only read, only access. You won't be having full access. So in that scenario, you are going to drop an email to database team saying we have these attributes. You mean you have to create something like, just help us to create these column in the tree. But this is what I have noticed. Okay, you are not supposed to create directly. If you have a full access as well, okay, it will create. It will violate the policy. So first step, you have to update in the Hibernate file. Second, you have to get in touch with the database team to create these index and columns, because you are going to alter the table. So once you get a reply from them, then you have to go to state step you are going to follow. So we have talked about this one columns. Let me show the index as well. So the index what we created. So you can check. So the contact number and the employee type index has been created. So you can use this attribute in future. And wherever it's a searchable attribute, so you can. It makes such a bit fast. Yeah, but this. Like, how do we trigger the events? Even if they're in? Are you talking about Life's Believe and join a movie? Yes, but it's not related to this. Like I don't know? Yeah, it's not, because I just wanted to ask like, is there any application? If not in database. I didn't get that what you're asking. So for triggering an event, we need to run some SQL commands, right? To trigger an event. No, we are not going to run any command. Just based on this attribute, are based on something we are going to trigger the event. So the moment the event has been triggered, so some workflow in the back and some workflow will be called and, based on the workflow, some access will be provided or some access will be removed. Okay. Yeah. So far we have done two things. 1. We have added in the Hibernate file the extended attribute name. Second, we have made some changes in the database. To make a note, in real-time project you are not supposed to create the tables directly. It's up to a client. I am not sure, but so far I haven't done. We have to get in touch with that database team. They are the one who are going to create this column and indexes. They are supposed to alter the table. That's it, okay. So now the third step we are going to follow. So the third step. You go to Sailpoint. Go to Global Settings. Okay, go to Identity Mappings. So from here you have to create